How's it going, guys? Sick Libra. Sorry, sounding a little weird. I blew out my voice yesterday, which is always a fun event to have. So, let you know what I've got going on here. I'm smoking a little Cornell and Deal's Plantation Evening in my Wessex. Little briar action. I'm going to be on the briars for a while, but we'll get to why here in just a few minutes. So, another quick shout out to Clint the Frozen Backy Blender. Thanks for the gaw. I'm really looking forward to getting some of that tobacco and seeing what you turn out, bud. It's going to be awesome. I love doing reviews, so if you'd like, I'll review it for you. If not, then I won't. It's whatever. So, let's talk about meerschaum. I have elected to retire my meerschaum pipe for the next couple of months. Now, why might you do that, you may ask? Well, let's start off with what meerschaum is. Meerschaum is a porous stone soaked in wax, if you didn't already know that. It's, that's the bare simple truth to it. And yes, you can abuse the hell out of a meerschaum pipe when it comes to smoking. Obviously, it's not as tough or resilient as briar, but when it comes to actually smoking, you can burn bowl after bowl after bowl through it without any rest. You ride her hard and put her away wet. But there comes to a certain point where it is disadvantageous to do that. And let me tell you why. So yes, it is a stone, and no, it will not get softer from smoking it over and over again. It doesn't become more brittle. It doesn't run the risk of cracking as long as you keep it clean and you don't hit it on anything. But it all plays into the fact that it is, in fact, porous. So what happens when you smoke meerschaum a whole lot for an extended period of time? I just got done with, I want to say, a 3-month run where I was smoking it almost every day, sometimes multiple times a day. And meerschaum or otherwise, that's hard on a pipe. So I gave it a very deep, very thorough cleaning yesterday. I took the Teflon tenon and I don't remember what it's called. It's like tenon and mortise or whatever out. And I scrubbed the inside of it with a paper towel. I took pipe cleaners to it. I must have used about 15 pipe cleaners. Took the old scraper to it, made sure there was no cake on the sides of it. Gave the outside a nice good wipe down and locked it in a box. And there it will stay for at least a month, if not 3. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because meerschaum will absorb the liquid from your smoke. And everybody's had pipe gurgle. Well, the pipe gurgle gets worse and worse and worse the more you abuse your meerschaum. The plus side to this is that's the stuff that's going to make your meerschaum change color. It'll soak into the beeswax, it'll stain the beeswax, it'll draw it out to the surface, and that's why with the vast majority of meerschaums the shank color's first, because that's where all the liquid goes. So, problem with this is it stops soaking it up after a while, and it eventually just turns into a skanky little puddle in the bottom of your pipe. It gets very old very quick to try and battle this. So I'm at the point where I'm fed up with battling the never-ending pond that continues to build up in the pipe. And I am going to let her rest. And when you do that, the wax that is in the stone will pull the tars and nicotines out. It'll become more meshed, more melded, I guess, like a fine tobacco that's been cellared. And it will theoretically help the color change. The color change of a meerschaum pipe is a very, very fluid process, though. You get people that'll smoke their pipe for months and months and months on end, and you'll never see anything but a light charring around the top of the bowl. Maybe a little pinkish hue around the charring. That's common. And you'll go through spurts where your meerschaum will color a lot for a little while. Like, you'll go from stark white to getting kind of a pinkish hue up the stem. And then you'll start to see brown spots pop up on it. And then it'll just stop. And it'll just ride there with a couple of little splotchy brown spots, or maybe a little stain that looks like a drip right around where the stem inserts into it. And then a little while down the road, you'll do it again. And all of a sudden, you'll smoke it for a week or two, nothing will happen, and then all of a sudden there's like great big old blast of color, and then all of a sudden your whole shank's yellow and you got a dark spot starting to form at the bottom of the bowl. And so it'll spread like that, and then it'll eventually stop, and you might find yourself concerned from time to time that the color goes away, as it does. Every once in a while the color will just start to fade out of it. Don't worry, because the beeswax is drawn towards the heat. So the wax that you put on the exterior of the pipe is going to work its way into the inside of the pipe. Whereas later on down the road, when you re-wax it, that wax will mesh with the wax that's on the inside of the pipe, and all of a sudden you'll have this huge blast of color that'll start to fade away again. And you'll do this process over and over and over again for God knows how long, and eventually you'll have one of those beautiful museum pieces that you always see on like your image searches. And if you're concerned at all with the coloring of your pipe, you've searched them. I've searched them, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, who hasn't seen beautifully dark mahogany colored meerschaum pipe somewhere on the internet? They're beautiful. I'm looking forward to the day that my pipe looks like that. It's a long way off. I've been at it for about 7 years now, and I'm nowhere even close. I'm still at the burnt umber type color. So if your pipe is not coloring, do not get discouraged. Just enjoy the meerschaum for what it is. It's a beautifully pure smoking pipe. What I mean by that is I'm sure somebody somewhere along the line in your instructional videos has told you your meerschaum will not ghost. Alright? It just won't do it. So I smoke anything and everything out of there, from Lane 1Q to Captain Black, to my English blends to Virginia Barriques. This is exclusively English. My Randy Wiley, I put just about anything through. And my Galabura, I put through it English blends and the very occasional lightly aromatic. I'll smoke my plum cake in there. But a meerschaum is like a corncob pipe in the fact that it won't ghost. So that's a good deal. Resilient to moisture. You can't theoretically smoke a meerschaum too hot. However, it would be a bad idea to do so, because if you do smoke your meerschaum too hot, what you're going to do is you're going to melt that Teflon tenon, and it's going to taste horrible. Done it before. Not in my Coast Guard pipe. That's not my first meerschaum pipe. I've had two meerschaum pipes before that. You do not want to melt that Teflon end. Another thing is the cooler you smoke a meerschaum, the more evenly that wax is going to spread through the pipe. So you definitely want to make sure that you're smoking them nice and cool, nice and smooth. Treat them gently, much like you would one of your briars in the smoking department. And treat them like fine china in the handling department. And your meerschaum will take care of you for as long as it lives. As far as my talk on meerschaum goes, that's about the extent of it. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have any further questions about your meerschaum, give me a holler in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys next time.